had the rust holes repaired. That wasn't really supposed to happen. Yeah, so it's 100% sealed, it's got seam sealer in it, and now we're going to weld the top plenum plate back on.
Ground back the
welds, yeah, and so it should be all honky-dory now. And, there's a little bit of tinkering we've got to do, and then next you'll see it, it'll be in perfect. We might time lapse. You want to time lapse it, Josh?
maybe.
Well, if you don't see it, it's his fault, okay? Don't blame me. Okay, so this is that plate welded back on, and just needs grinding, which you'll get to see. Well, finished. I'm not going to show you grinding. Maybe I will. Depends how mean I feel. And that's about it. Josh has gone to the beach with his girl, and so both the girls have gone to the beach, and that's about it.
Ba-na-na-na-na-na. What are we doing?
We've just put it on a couple of sawhorses, nice and level. We'll weld the brace across there so that when we take the front apron off / radiator support, it won't budge, and we'll put a new one on. So we had to put it on sawhorses so we get the rotisserie out of the road.
And this is where it's going to be for a little while.
So it's your job to do all the underneath stuff.
Oh, doesn't that look good?
That's a point, you know, Josh.
What?
Maybe we should do a bit of deburring or de-welding or de-spotting
Before we take it off?
before we do that, yeah.
Where's the ones underneath?
Yeah, well, I haven't looked, but I'll bet there is some underneath.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all
Well,
there.
they're seam welded, aren't they? Stitched piece. Yeah.
Yeah. Because I didn't want to destroy it.
Yeah, but we don't want to half take it off when it's still in a rotisserie and it comes off.
No, it won't come off with only half the...
I think
all the
it'll be-
underneath, well, who's going to grind the underneath welds off? Not me. No, I said the fly.
Oh, well, we'll figure it out.
Yeah, we're going to. Okay, so I thought I'd better have a chat, keep up to date. Excuse my throat. I was going to weld the metal brace across here, but bloody hell, I just thought, blow it, I'll bolt it, then I don't have any after work to do. It's once done, it's done. And what is it, how many tonnes per square inch does a bolt hold? So it only has to stop it from springing a little bit like that. So honky-dory. This is the back out of the, it's actually the back piece out of the tray. I'll show you. Might as well have a look. I didn't use it because you can't. Oh, can you see in there? Oh, it's a bit dark, isn't it? Anyway, that beam across there, that's what it is. It's the lip, but this one was all right, so I left it. Someone else needs it, give us a holler, I'll send it to you. The other thing is I had it outside before I take it off the rotisserie or the front half. I disconnected the bottom of that. You'll see it in time lapse, and can't be bothered crawling underneath and doing it. That's about it. So I'll show you I'll time lapse this. I'm about to take the front of the rotisserie off and she'll be honky-dory. Okay. Okay, as you can see, the front is off, or the apron, whatever you want to call it. And I've got to clean up all the spot weld spots. I thought it might have been had a twist. It's had a hit here and a repair, which in some ways did a good repair, but right up to the point where they didn't actually connect it to the apron very well. So they just sort of tacked it here and there. So it was pretty shit, really. So we're going to put it properly. And it should look like, see, it's got the tag there, and this one they didn't bother putting the tag in. It's also like a 2.5, 3 mil, and this is like 2 mil. So we'll have a good close look at it, see how we pan out, but I think I'll probably just keep going with the repair that's there rather than just rip it apart for the sake of it. Okay, been working on the front apron, radiator support panel, whatever you want to call it. This is a radiator support panel. Now, this side's not too bad. It settles down. It's pretty good. Going there. It's like a little high. It's like this thing's a bit tall. It's a little worse on this side. Meaning it's probably, as you can see there. Admitting that looks like it could do with a good hit down. But I just don't know. I think it's still probably a really crappy panel. This is would have been nice to get a genuine one. This is I think it only resembles the shape of the original one. It's very disappointing. So it's going to take a lot of massage to get this thing fitting right. And yeah, I sort of had this imagination that it was going to fit a heck of a lot better than it does. So that's about the size of it. And what worries me is where else is it not right, you know? And you kind of can't trust it. I hate that about panels. Can't trusting them. You can't trust it. It does look, if I look at that little high on the right, and that'd make sense. So, don't know why. Maybe I'll try and clamp it down and see if that lifts it. Okay. I'm sick of the sound of my own voice. Anyway, after a bit of massaging, which means just basically forcing it, I got that to, can you see it? Anyway, I got that to go in. It actually wasn't as bad as I thought. It's just a bit, you got to sort of flex it a bit. It springs a bit. And so that's it. It's in position, so I'll probably grind it all back. I was hoping Josh would be back. Josh is in Melbourne visiting his sister, EJ. So, my daughter. Okay, so I better show you what I'm doing. This bolt hole's not uncommonly tear out. They should have all been put in with never sees, but nevertheless, so I'm going to refit that like that. See? I can't find one of those bolts unless I want to steal it out of a good car, and I'm not going to do that. So it's very frustrating. And I'd sure like one because they've got a lip on them, so I would have actually put it back in original, but I can't. Okay, so I made this piece up here, which goes in here. like that. Now that means I'll be able to fill that bit with weld and grind it back neatly, and or put a little plate in there and weld it from the inside quite easily. And I'll probably weld that around there onto the bolt, and so it'll all go in quite nicely, so I can have it really very well mounted. So get a closer look. Yeah, so that's about the size of it, and I think that's probably a good enough repair job. It's the only one. It's give it quite an original look, and the only difference between it and original is it'll be that much thicker, and which is really what would have been nice from factory, to make it that much thicker. Then they wouldn't have stripped out when you undid them when they got a bit rusted. Anyway, so this will go on nicely. I'll grind it up, clean all the rest of it up soon, get this welded in, and then we'll put the front on. I'm looking forward to Josh getting back. He's getting back on Friday, so yeah, miserable. Yeah, I'm lonely. What can I say? I'm so lonely. Okay, as you can see, this is the radiator support panel, and I'll just show you what they've done here. See here, that actually should be flush. So it's about 5-6 mil, probably 6 mil out. And so that there line there really should be flush with that line there. That's probably more 8 mil. And it shows, and see, to get it on, it's forced, I had to force it on, which bends this down, which means the whole thing is sitting high, especially on the passenger side. So I know what to do about this either. I might just drill out these rivets here, do that run, so that I can actually get this to go up. So, because this will just bend, can't see it, that'll just bend back into place. We can just get this top half in the right spot. So I think that's the only way I'm going to be able to get this radiator support panel to fit nice. And it's not perfect on the other side at all. However, it's only about 4 mil out here. Whether I do these 2 pot rivets here and move that up, it's still bent. You can see it's tight. It's been rubbing there, and pulling it down. How about this one? This side's not so bad. Binds on this, pushes it up here, which pushes this down. So they'll move though, so I don't know. So I might do that, see what happens. On this side anyway, and see how it goes. If it doesn't work on this side, then I know not to bother with the other side. Okay, so I've marked around it, all these marks, and that's where I'm gonna now drill all those holes. And I'll probably at the same time, remember we discussed earlier, well I'll discuss it again, I'm going to drill out these pot rivets and see if I can get that lined up with that so that it'll fit better, sit down. And then of course we've done all of them. And I've got one other thing, and this is the little apron piece here. And I want to show it to you. And I've got this marked as well. I haven't put the mark where we're going to drill the holes yet. And that's another piece I'm going to get ready to go. Anyway, so that's about the size of it. Wish I had a great spot welding gun. It'd be quick to put that panel on with a spot welder, wouldn't it? Anyway, you need a big one. is now pretty good. It's not making as much difference as I'd hoped it's going to make. You have to really change the whole thing, and I'm not going to do that. So it is what it is, but it'll actually work fine now. It's like the right gap. Bash that up a bit and close that, and that'll pulls it down a bit, and that's what I want. So that'll do. Okay, there it is. So this is the bolt. It's a bit noisy around here at the moment. You can still hear me. We're going to weld that in like that. This is so that it can't slip. So it's going to let you watch in peace. Okay, a bit of an update. He's back. He's ugly. He's not ugly. He's 50% me, so he's got to be gorgeous. And 50% his mother. His mother was very cute when she was young. Anyway, oh, she's still cute. When she was young. Well, yes, she's an old duck now. Quack. No boiler now, man. Anyway, we're not talking about previous incarnations. We're talking about this. So we've I'm going to sit down and do this. This fits really nicely. This is the battery. Battery goes in here. Like that battery goes in there. Yes, I'm moving the camera around too much, Josh, sorry. We've edge primed it. We've scratched out all the bit, you can see. So it's ready to weld. It's all drilled. There are all 6mm holes in this. I think 6mm is quite adequate. And so we're about to weld that, then weld the radiator support panel on. And it's going to be good. I just wanted to do a quick update. So we'll have that on time lapse.
And look what happens when you're a putz.
Yeah, I got whipped. And the sander caught, ripped a piece of the sander off on the angle grinder, and it whipped me, and it whipped me good. I felt like a what is it? Diva. Remember the ones with they wore the you wouldn't remember because you were too young, but they wore bloody not ice cream caps, flower pot. They were flower pot heads. Devo they were called. Anyway, so I got whipped.
Lash of nine tails, isn't it, or something?
Yeah, that's what a lash of nine tails looks like. Yeah. But it's just superficial.
It's not true. I got mad at him and whipped him myself.
So anyway, safety gear, it's very important, isn't it? You don't have to be slack for long. And it was just such an easy spot, just welding this back. And it just caught on that edge there without me...
Grinding it back.
Grinding it, yeah. And so it cut me, so let's not worry about that. It whipped me anyway.
It's welded in.
So I got that plate in there because it's a genuine, all original, bolts in, plates on. Looks pretty nice and neat, tidy. And everything's ready here to be welded up too. And we've got a bit of weld on this bolt on the inside, so it's never going to tear out now. Plus I'll put it together with never sees, or I only know it as never sees. And so never sees is what it's going to get with, so it never bothers it again when I put the bumper bar on, which sadly will be still quite some time away.
Okay.
Yeah, that's about it. Let's get back to work.
this is the job that I get stuck with. Scratching all these. And it's fine to do one or two, but when you got thanks, Dad. I love it. She's on.
Yeah,
It's a wrap.
that's a wrap. Yep.
Anything you want to talk about?
Ta-da. Yeah, we're not 100% finished. We've got to weld the underneath. We're going to put it back on the rotisserie to do that. And I've got a couple of little welds to put across the top here to weld it to weld these strut bar arms on. And that's what I call them.
Strut arms.
Yeah.
Strums.
These aren't strut arms, these are strut arm securing mounts. That's what I would call them. You can call them anything you bloody want, doesn't matter. Hunky metal pieces that are solid and stop the wheels from sliding out. Keeps the suspension straight. Now it's all double panel, all sheeted. So it worked better than I expected at first. When I tried to put it in, I was pretty disappointed. And but I did have to actually modify this. You see here, where I had to drill out these welds and move this into the right position because it was out a long way. So after I did that, it came good. And it was nice. And that, and I clamped it there when we welded it. So anyway, I'm just babbling now. So it looks good. And Josh, walk around here, have a look at. Well, you can do a look at it on both sides. But this brand new battery support, or apron, brand new battery apron piece in where the battery sits. It has the V8 one, of course, battery carrier. So it's all good.
We just need to get the engine bay all shiny now.
Yeah, next we're going to, once we've done that, one of the things we will do is we're going to paint it, actually put colour on here soon.
Woohoo!
And, so yeah, that'll be exciting. So bits and pieces. And paint the underneath so we can get it off the rotisserie. So paint the underneath, paint in the engine bay to give it its colour. And a little early, perhaps. There's a long way to go, a lot of work. So it'd just be so nice to see colour on it, wouldn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
And, there is a section we've got to do here. I want to drill out all these welds along there, flare it open a bit, clean in between it, 415 it, clamp it back down and weld it. And because I'm not happy with it, it's just the seam sealer they used. What happens is it becomes hygroscopic, it absorbs moisture and causes the rust. So if you've got to get it out really, but the idea is to remove the seam sealer that's there and then it'll just stop the rust.
Yeah.
And, it was a bit unfortunate back in the day that they didn't have the materials that we have today. Cars are so much better built today than they were in the past. Just simply because better materials, better quality steel. There's a lot of reasons for it. We don't want this in the video, it's too long.
Anyway, that's good. That was a good when we were in the attic for maybe 4 hours.
Yeah, 4 hours. Well, 4 hours for you.
Yeah, no, I'm
It's
just
not
saying.
round back yet. You're going to grind back those welds? It's about your turn, isn't it?
I told you I'd put metal on, don't take it off. No, good stuff. See, his work's done. I got to spend another 8 hours putting a video together.
Oh, he's breaking my heart. Yeah, because you'll sit in an air-conditioned room and do it. Poor guy. You've got to remember here, it's like 90% humidity. It feels practically raining. I can't paint because the paint blooms. Even here, I painted it. It just blooms whenever the temperature drops from the evaporation of the thinners out of the paint. So we can't really do too much painting this weather. I have to wait for winter for painting. And, but it's also, it's extremely hot. With humidity, you can't cool off. And so you run hot, and we've been welding, so you've got to wear a lot of clothes. Anyway, signing out.